Hello and welcome to Conscious Female Brands. I'm Nathalie Saunderson, and today's topic is a very interesting one, and it has everything to do with why women stop expanding their work in the world. So why do women ultimately end up holding themselves back? There is so much going on in the world that is very easy for women to subconsciously put their own growth and development first before they have a family or a relationship or children. And as we mature and we get older, if those things do come into our field, it is very difficult to always give yourself the proper amount of time and attention to know what you need and how to give it to yourself. Now, even before this stage of life, should you choose to enter it or not, there is still so much conditioning that women carry around how they're supposed to prioritize their choices and decisions. In fact, I would almost say that it's not very encouraged for women to put themselves first, share that they really have their own priorities, desires, and goals, not because we don't want to see women succeed, because the understanding in the world is that that means she has a certain level of independence. And when a woman moves towards her independence versus her relational connections, she starts to chart a very different path in life. And one of the most beautiful and continuously nourishing qualities around women is the way that we prioritize our relationships. And this means the way we prioritize all of our relationships, the way that we want to understand our body, the way that we prioritize our romantic connections, the way that we nurture our children, the way that we connect with our parents. And it's not to say that the masculine doesn't have this awareness, but the way that we show up and balance it all is very different. And so what I've discovered is that so many women have the desire to grow further professionally, but what stops them is this kind of belief that needs to be overcome, which is, if I admit that I want more, where is that extra energy coming from? Does that mean that I spend less time with my children? Does that mean that I'm less available for my relationship? Does that mean I'm out of the house longer than I'd like? Does that mean I no longer to relate to the other women in my life who are having families? And so in some ways, subconsciously, what every woman has to decide is that it's safe. It's safe and it's okay to give yourself permission to say, I want more. Right? And this wanting more often looks like releasing certain parts of who you've been before that point. It might look like having more boundaries around how you spend your time. It might mean being less available for certain people or friendships. And although these are very natural stages of growth, it can be difficult for women to be at peace with that element of it because we're changing. And often women will struggle with wanting to be it all to everybody that we care about. So in this process of growing professionally, you are also going to have to make peace with the fact that there will be times where you can't get it all done, or you can't be everywhere at the same time. And that is a natural part of expanding who you are in the world. We have to kind of see the choices that we're making now and where they ultimately fit into where we're wanting to go in the future. Now, the second thing that I see really holding women back is that there's this piece of stepping through the unknown. And the unknown is, who am I going to be and how am I going to feel if I actually pursue the dreams or the goals that I have for myself? Because it might look very different than, again, how you were raised or the people that you've been around for a long time. Now, this is almost inevitable, that when you grow in one area of your life, you start to explore other areas of your life, right? Maybe you take better care of yourself and you sleep earlier because you know you're going to get up and work the next day. Maybe you aren't as, spontaneous as you once were. And these qualities of having to really allow certain parts of us to recede or to be released really does mean that you have to trust in who you're becoming. And you have to trust that the people closest to you, which I almost feel is the bigger issue, are still going to love you as you become this new version of yourself. So it's worth braving that big, bold step to explore what it is that you're here to do, what it is that you're here to offer the world. As long as you recognize that there will be times where your outer world might shift as you do, and that there's going to be a new stage and a new evolution of who you are, and it's likely going to be even better than you can imagine if you just take those steps one at a time. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the button, and I'll see you soon. Take care for now.